Integers, positive and negative whole numbers, not fractions or decimals, whole numbers. Now that we know what integers are, how do we add them?
An easy way to add integers is to use a number line. For example, you are given the question of -6 plus -3. Because both numbers are negative, you know that you'll be starting at -6 on the number line and you'll be adding more negatives to that number. So you'll be going back 3 times on your left because you're adding -3, which is also a negative. So your final answer is where you stop at, which is -9 on the number line. Therefore, -6 plus -3 equals -9. Integers can also be subtracted using a number line. For example, -7 subtract +3. Start off with -7 on your number line and move 3 spaces to the left. This is because you want to get away from the positives and you're subtracting a positive. So, your final answer will be the spot that you land on, which is -10. Therefore, -7 subtracted by 3 gives you an answer of -10. But what if you were given an example of a negative subtract a negative? For example, you are given -3 subtract -7. To do this, start at -3 on the number line and move to the right. This is because you want to subtract a negative away from a negative, so you're losing negatives. Move 7 spaces to the right, and your answer should be the number that you land on at the end of 7 spots to the right. Your answer is +4, so that means that -3 subtracted by -7 is +4. Multiplying integers is easy when you know the sign rules instead of using a number line. For example, positive times positive and negative times negative are same signs. Therefore, their answer would always be positive. If you were given an example of 6 times 3, your answer, multiplied normally, would be +18. Or if you have -2 times -5, you would simply cancel out the sign rules and you will be left with 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is +10, so your answers for both should be positive. But what if you're given an example with positive times negative, or vice versa? If your example, for example, is -4 times +7, to do this, simply forget about the negative sign of -4 and multiply like normal. 4 times 7 equals 28, so your answer will be +28. Then you should add the negative sign at the end of your answer so that you will get the answer of -28. Dividing integers is easy when using multiplication rules. For example, negative times positive is negative, positive times negative is negative, and negative times positive is positive. From there, just substitute the word to multiplication with division. These sign rules can apply to any questions of division. For example, -5 divided by -1. To do this, do 5 divided by 1, ignoring the negative signs, which will give you an answer of 5. Then looking at the rules, you know that negative divided by negative gives you positive. So, -5 divided by -1 is 5.
Even throughout our everyday lives, there are integers. Some examples we can see in our daily lives when checking the temperature. The temperature can either be above or below 0 degrees Celsius, or positive and negative. For example, in the winter in Colorado, the temperatures can be up to -22 degrees to 0 degrees Celsius. Another example of what you encounter is with money. Say you buy a shirt for $20. This also means that you are not $20 in debt. The last example is YouTube thumbs up and downs. When you see a YouTube video, you can see the ratings, positive or negative votes. The thumbs up represent the positive votes, and the thumbs down can represent the negative votes. Although outside of your everyday life, you wouldn't see a number line that shows integers in addition and subtraction, we do know that in our world, integers are used for many different purposes. For instance, in stock markets, people either gained or lost money. This can be expressed in integers, such as this stock has a price of -$2 per share. This expresses a negative integer. Lastly, another example is the altitude of sea level. Below sea level is represented in negative integers, and above sea level is represented in positive integers. For instance, how Mount Everest is 8,848 meters above sea level. So there you have it, the basics of integers.